to reconvene. We have already opened the meeting, so I need a motion out of closed session.
I move that the school board upholds the superintendent's recommendation, which is consistent with the Fauquier County School Board's Code of Student Conduct concerning discipline in student case number 10-1513-A.
Second.
You have to do the certification of this.
Oh, I already did that.
You have to do it.
And,
We
well,
did, we had to do it.
we'll do it again.
Okay. I move that the closed meeting be concluded and the board certifies to the best of each member's knowledge, one, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and two, only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered.
Second.
Motion and a second that the closed meeting be concluded and the board certifies that to the best of each member's knowledge, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law were discussed in the closed meeting to which this certification applies, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries, and we go to motions out of closed session.
I move that the school board upholds the superintendent's recommendation, which is consistent with the Fauquier County School Board's Code of Student Conduct Discipline in student case number 10-1513-A.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board upholds the superintendent's recommendation, which is consistent with the Fauquier County School Board's Code of Student Conduct Discipline in student case number 10-1513-A. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. Motion carries. And we move to the pledge, and I would ask everyone to please stand and join me in the pledge. And the flag is over here. Right, got it,
Or
okay.
on the screen.
Or on the screen.
I like that, Ginger.
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, it's time for announcements. The Mountain Vista Governor's School Governing Board meeting will be held on Thursday, October 17th at 8 a.m. in the Warren County School Board office. There will be a building committee meeting Thursday, October 24th at 8:30 a.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. Chairman's Night will be Monday, October 28th at 5 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. There will be a school board work session Monday, October 28th at 6 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. The ribbon cutting ceremony, open house, and tour for the FHS renovation will be held Sunday, November 3rd at 2 o'clock here at FHS, and the open house and tours will be from 2 to 4 p.m. And just to make sure everybody understands, we know the work is not finished, but we did want to give the public an opportunity to come in and see the work that's happened so far. So we will be doing a ribbon cutting at 2? At 2. Okay. There will be a Health Advisory Committee meeting Wednesday, November 6th at 8 a.m. in the Central Complex Building Conference Room. There will be a Special Education Advisory Committee meeting Wednesday, November 6th at 5:30 p.m. in the Central Complex Building A Conference Room. There will be a School Support Council meeting Wednesday, November 6th at 7 p.m. in the School Administration Conference Room. And the next school board meeting is Monday, November 11th at 7 p.m. back in the Warren Green building. We're going to be kind of back and forth. Hopefully by the first of the year we'll be here permanently. But next month we're at Warren Green. We move to response to citizens time. I do not believe there is a response this month. And we move to citizens time, and we have nobody signed up. So we will move right to reports. And would you like to start, Ms. Wolf?
Sure.
I know, you are so anxious.
Can you put your
Board
seatbelt on,
members.
please?
If we get the real most exciting part. Yesterday, I attended the crisis management training at Liberty High School, and I want to just tell you, and I can't, what was the name of the company?
Crisis Consulting, Inc.
Okay, I was expecting something totally different. I was expecting them to say, when the person comes in with a weapon, you move over here and do this, and that's what I was expecting. But what it turned out to be was incredible, because it was a real eye-opener. It changed me at my workplace, because I've already started like scoping it out, because at the circuit court, that's a pretty dangerous place sometimes. But it was really realistic and wonderful. I was very impressed with these people, because again, it's different than you think it's gonna be. But it was very useful, and it was a transforming hour and a half. It changed the way I look at things at work. It really did. So, thank you, Janice. And this guy said, listen to this, he said he trains people in 23, 28 states, I think it is, and he said our crisis management plan is one of the best he's seen. And he mentioned Miss Bourne, and so thank you, he did say that.
She's blushing.
It was,
Okay.
Anyway, it was very good, so thank you for arranging that. It was great, and I think everybody should take it,
Yeah,
even if you're not in a school, you should take it, because it really makes you look at the environments that you're in and how you might react if something happened. And people really need to start thinking like that, unfortunately, but that's the truth. So that was great. I loved it. And then the other great thing was the Career and Technology Bring Our Legislators to School, which was last week. And Sarah Fry, I cannot tell you enough how wonderful that was. And in fact, my hair is done by a Fauquier High School graduate. Anyway, no, I really want to say I've been in schools, I've toured, and I saw things I've never seen before. And I really hope that we can open that up so more people in this community can see what we saw. It was outstanding. I am so proud of us in our division of what we've done. It was great. So thank you, Sarah Fry. It was wonderful.
Ms. Reardon, got anything?
Just one small thing, we always talk about how community involvement is so important, to the success of the schools. And I've just been really busy this last month working on the Brookside 5K that's set to benefit Auburn Middle School's library. So I would encourage anybody that can walk or run to come on out, and on October the 26th, we're going to be upgrading some of the things in the library, and we're also going to be hopefully purchasing some devices for those children that don't have devices on the Bring Your Own Device program that we have now. And I think it's for a great cause. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's only probably last about an hour or so on a Saturday morning. And just come on out and support the Auburn Middle School. It would be great to see you all.
Okay, personnel, Janelle's going to bring you that information tonight, what we talked about. And building, it's a lot to cover, so if you've got any questions, just let me know. Yeah, we did have a liaison committee meeting the end of September, and talked about design plans for what now is phase 3 or 2, 3, we kind of combined, whatever. And kind of cut out some things and did some value engineering, and now it's ready. So by now, he should have plans, design plans.
The 100% plans are supposed to be done, I think about the first week of November.
Okay, that's,
And,
at that point, we can start to send them out and get some real hard numbers back and know where we stand.
So can we talk about our ribbon cutting?
Would you like to talk about our ribbon cutting?
more than what you've already said. Do you want me to say something?
Yeah.
I think it would be great.
Do you want me to say it at the mic?
Absolutely.
Give me time to think about what I should say.
Yeah. since we won't have another opportunity
Right.
to speak to the public.
We have a great committee working on it. Karen Parkinson and Carol Hollinger and Vicki
Okay,
are really the key. We've got invitations. We'll be sending out invitations by the end of this week.
And for some people who might not know what we're talking about, it's
Okay.
the
On November 11th, as you just mentioned,
second.
November
third.
3rd. November 3rd, what did I say?
11th?
Oh, I'm thinking of Veterans Day. On November 3rd, we're going to have here in the common area, in the new part of the building, a ribbon cutting to recognize the new building and the work on the performing arts. Now, as Chairman Grove mentioned, there is still some work to be done, but it's really minor work. We hope the courtyard will be mostly done by November 3rd. We still have some work to do in the 1979 portion of the building, which will be done next summer, and we'll have some work to do in the 300 wing, which is down the main hallway, and that's just going to be putting it under the geothermal system. So the work to be done is pretty minor compared to the work that's already been done. So we'll be recognizing and dedicating the new parts that have been built and renovated. That's going to be at 2. At 2 o'clock, we'll have a brief ceremony with the ribbon cutting, and the principal and his assistant principals will cut the ribbon dedicating the new building and renovation. After 2 o'clock, we will have just a reception in the common area right out here with some refreshments, and people will be able to do self-guided tours. There won't be formal tours, but I believe Mr. Burton is going to have some of his students posted around the building to tell people what's in that area of the building, and people can go and look at the new spaces, because the new spaces are really very special and a great improvement. We haven't finalized everything we're going to be doing, but we may have in this room a video that shows some befores and afters. We did have a program yesterday where we showed some befores and afters, and it's pretty amazing when you look at the befores. And then, I mean, when you look at the front of the building, and the before was a one-story, and now you look at the new 4-story building, and that's right in front of the old building. It is pretty amazing. So that's what we're going to be doing on the 3rd. Dr. Lewis will come back also.
Great.
Chairman Grove doesn't know it yet, but she will make some remarks, and so will
Oh.
Dr. Lewis. So the program is being developed, and we will share that with you in draft form next week. And we will also, Karen Parkinson is going to send out a news release next
Okay.
week inviting the community.
Good, good, okay.
So this isn't just private invitation, but it's open to the community as well.
Yeah, we very much want the community to come out and see. Yeah,
So is that
thank you.
good?
That's wonderful.
Yeah, didn't mean to put you on the spot, but, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I think, Dr. Jack, got anything?
I just want to remind everyone here that tomorrow's Boss's Day, and I got my first card. So kudos to Warrenton Middle School for that.
He's not asking for anything big.
I did want to say,
We're his,
Yeah. That's right, we are your boss, you remember?
right?
That's-
So we're expecting something.
that's a lot of cards. But I think Microsoft has a program for that, so I can print some out. I just wanted to point out quickly, SSC, the School Support Council, we've had a couple meetings, and it's great that this council is focused on doing projects, and they're sort of brainstorming ideas about what are some projects that they can take on, big meaningful projects that could help the entire school division. And I think that's great. So we'll continue that process in the November meeting. And then again, 94% graduation rate, and that's
Yeah.
just outstanding. Congratulations to everyone. I think my 2 months, my May and June here, that got us. I think we were going to be around 90. But
Just think
those
what you
2
could do
months,
with 9 home, or 12 home
we'll be
ones.
110 next year. No, at 94 is, that's really stellar. And when you consider that in our region, you know, the folks ahead of us were Madison, Clark, and Loudon, Madison and Falls Church. Three of those have one high school, they're tiny school divisions, and we're competitive with them, and it's much easier to boost those rates when you only have one high school for a lot of different reasons, but that's really outstanding. And the last piece, did want to just mention to the board that we are going to be doing client surveys in the month of November, and those will be sent out electronically to students in grades 5, 8, 10, and 11, parents and teachers. They're just school quality surveys. That's something I like to do.
5, 8, 10,
5, 8, 10,
and 11.
and 11 in the schools.
Parents, teachers, and students.
And then, right, we'll be sending information out to parents and teachers specifically about how they can complete those online at the school site. But it's straightforward client survey, and we'll see how we're doing. Get some feedback from the school community about how we're doing as a school division in a lot of different areas. So just wanted to mention that, and that's all I've got.
Okay.
I just wanted, go ahead.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
We both want to, before we move forward, acknowledge that we do have some students from Kettle Run tonight representing their newspaper, correct?
Raise your hand.
Thank you. And then we also have some students from Liberty tonight representing their newspaper. Thank you.
Now,
We won an award yesterday for our newspaper.
But are they here tonight?
Too much celebration.
Okay.
And Miss Duker,
yes, video famous.
Miss Duker,
Ms. Duker.
you were although all four of the videos that you all did at your school were great,
Great, they were.
yours was a little bit, was my favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Congratulations. But they were really good, I'm telling you, I've seen them, they've shown them at the VSBA conference for years, and it was excellent, they were excellent. And that first one in particular was really good, so hopefully we'll get a win.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that too.
Yay. Thank you. Okay, now, Ms. Kotoff, come on up, financial management report.
I apologize, I was so excited because I have to rush out and get something for Boss's Day tomorrow. So sorry, trying to rush it. You received the financial management report for July and August. We don't normally do one in July, just the timing of it. We did, but it doesn't have comparative data. But I went ahead and did it because both in the July and August, you'll see that there's a slightly different layout. Some of the changes are that in the expenditure of the school operating funds, we now include technology as a separate category. So for comparative purposes each month, I'll be pulling that out so you can see where it was last year, so you can have that comparison. You'll also notice that the transfers at the beginning of the year are done 100% because we transfer money to the textbook fund and the asset fund. In the school asset replacement fund, it looks a little low right now. The transfer that the Board of Supervisors approved in their resolution in April to carry over any unexpended funds didn't take place till September, after the close of the books.
Oh.
So you'll see it in the September report, so it does look a little low. And the asset fund also has a new category called district-wide. There's some things that don't fit in instruction with, like the outdoor lab or the modular house. Insurance recoveries, things like that affect the district as a whole. So we now show that separate. Some reserves in there as well. 2 months in, we look on track. Everything looks good. Any questions?
No.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Okey-doke, we move to Human Resource Department. Ms. Downs.
Good evening. The following is a brief summary of what's happening in human resources. We currently have 5 certified vacancies we're still recruiting for, and we have 17.5 classified vacancies. We are going to have a job fair for classified workers in November, and that's going to include custodian staff. We are in desperate need of locating custodians. And substitute orientation was today. And we had a turnout of 45 individuals who want to be substitute teachers.
Great. Okay.
Any
Good.
questions?
Good.
Okay.
Questions? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Then we move to consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I move that the school board approve the following: the minutes of the September 9th school board meeting, September 23rd special school board meeting and work session, and the September 28th school board retreat, monthly bills and payroll, personnel actions, and religious exemption 10, 15, 13.1.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board approve the following: the minutes of the September 9th school board meeting, September 23rd special school board meeting and work session, and September 28th school board retreat, the monthly bills and payroll, personnel actions, and religious exemption 10, 15, 13.1. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries, and we move to information items. Ms. Kotoff, the FY15 budget calendar.
Yes, ma'am. We have the calendar, actually, is presented this year as a timeline. Per policy, we do bring it to you for adoption. I need you just to check the little screen.
Oh.
Fancy, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's cute.
There you go. Mr. Fancy
been-
Pants,
you've
Louis
been-
McDonald.
Oh,
he-
yeah.
He helped, he helped with this presentation. But what we have is the calendar. It is similar in most ways, but there are a few changes from what you've seen in the last couple years. The first change is that we plan to solicit input from the stakeholders, our community again, as we have in the past, and we'll be doing that in November with a pre-budget public hearing. The other thing is that normally the superintendent presents at the first meeting of February. Our intent is to present at the last meeting, work session in January. That gives us two additional weeks if we need it, but the goal right now is to actually adopt it a couple weeks prior to the Board of Supervisors adopting their budget. So you'll actually adopt the superintendent's proposed budget. We would have a joint work session on that with the Board of Supervisors, and then a week and a half later, they would adopt their budget, is the plan now. The last change that's different is we'd like to, in the first April meeting, come back with the final numbers for adoption. However, we've pushed that, one, because it is spring break, to the last meeting, and two, to give us additional time. It is a long session of the General Assembly, so that gives us time to take in what the Board of Supervisors appropriates for us, what the General Assembly, their final actions are, and it allows us time to make adjustments before we adopt at the end of April and still meet all our timelines. The CIP also is shown in here. Our plan is the building committee to work session in November. It will go to the school board at the end of November. The building committee actually, I believe, gets at the end of October. The school board will get it as a work session at the end of November, and then formal presentation would be at the December meeting based on any work session changes for adoption in January to meet the county's deadlines. So I bring this before you, if you'll consider it at your next meeting, and then we'll put that in place.
Okay,
Thank you,
thank you, ma'am.
except I'm not leaving.
Okay, no, you're just going to switch hats.
Yes.
Aspirations 2015.
This year, we're a little later in the schedule than we normally are. We really, based on the Administrative Academy, based on the school board retreat, we've really debated and gone through our strategic plans that are still out there. Some of them that are very important still are not on the agenda due to resources, but these are ones that we felt really met where we were going, our focus, and that we're able to do. So you may not receive in February the mid-year. It may take us a little longer because we're a couple months behind, but it's our intent to take these plans. We have 132 plans total, of which we have championed 58. 54 of those we considered complete as far as the strategic planning portion of it. So we're bringing those 4 forward. We're going back and revisiting one of them that we felt like we looked at it from one aspect, but we'd like to review it from another aspect. And then we're going to add additional 16. So we'll be looking at 21 action plans this year. How that kind of breaks down is 4 of them are academic strategies, 2 are character strategies, 5 are environments strategy, 5 are staff strategies, 2 are communication, and 3 are resource strategies. So these are the 21 we'd like you to consider. As part of the plan, you do adopt these for us or give us the okay that these are the ones that are good to champion.
Okay,
All right.
all righty. And then Ms. Downs, we'll bring you back up for the VRS-VLPD decision.
Thank you. The following request is for the school board to adopt a resolution to irrevocably opt out of the Virginia Local Disability Program, known as VLDP. The General Assembly recently created a new hybrid retirement program administered by Virginia Retirement System that contains defined contribution and defined benefit component. The bill created a disability program for local employees participating in the hybrid plan, also known as VLDP. Participating in VLDP is automatic unless a governing body opts out. This decision is irrevocable either way, if you go into it or if you opt out. To opt in, there is a fee that you have to pay. To opt out, there's still a requirement to pay. We believe if you opt out of the VLDP, it gives us more ability to go into the market and find short-term or long-term disability plans that could be more fiscally responsible.
And sometimes better.
And sometimes better, yes.
Looks like.
And what are the majority of the divisions doing that?
Yes, the majority of the divisions are opting out. Fauquier County opted out last Thursday, and also John Marshall Soil and Water, which is one that's in our planning group, opted out last Wednesday.
Okay.
So the majority is opting out.
Right. Okay.
Any questions this evening?
No, it's the right thing to do.
Excuse me? Yes, I
Yep.
would like this to be, because we have to have a decision to VRS by November 1st.
Right. So,
Yes. Wait, let me get to my agenda, sorry. So are we ready?
Yep.
I move that the school board move action item number 13C
wait,
VR.
wait,
No.
no.
I'm wrong?
Yep.
Information. You said it.
I
You
said
said
action? Okay, let's start over.
No, she said action.
She said action.
I said
Yeah.
action. Okay, I move that the school board move information item number 13C VRS-VLPD Decision to action item number 14D for consideration for approval this evening.
Second?
Motion and a second that the school board move information item 13C, VRS VLDP decision to action item 14D for consideration for approval this evening. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. The motion carries, and we move to action items.
Personnel policies. I recommend that the school board approve the restructuring and update of personnel policy Articles 4, 5, and 8.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board approve the restructuring and update of personnel policies, Articles 4, 5, and 8. Any discussion? I think we've asked and answered all the questions, so there's no discussion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no. And that one carries, and we move to the next one.
Instructional policies. I move that the school board approve the restructuring and update of instructional policy Articles 2, 4, 5, and 6.
Second.
Motion and a second that the school board approve the restructuring and update of instructional policies, Articles 2, 4, 5, and 6. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no, and that one carries. And next, we move to year-end funding request.
I move that the school board approve the year-end funding requests.
Second?
Motion and a second that the school board approve the year-end funding requests. Any discussion?
Nope, it's great stuff.
I'm hoping we get them all, so, yeah. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say no, and that motion carries. We move to the VRS-VLPD decision.
I move that the school board adopt the resolution irrevocable election not to participate in Virginia Local Disability Program.
Second?
Motion and a second that the school board adopt the resolution irrevocable election not to participate in Virginia Local Disability Program. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. That motion carries. And before we adjourn, anything else?
No.
Okay.
I
Then,
move to adjourn.
Second.
motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Meeting adjourned.